Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of PPC Roundtable. Today, we have Mr. Sandeep, our co founder, and Affan, our PPC director, and we are going to talk something very different today. Today, we are going to talk about Search Query Performance Dashboard. So, how you can use it and make PPC decision, how you can use it to make better conversion rate of your listing, how you can use it to get more sales. Today we are going to discuss all about that. We're going to deep dive into more advanced stuff so that you can understand exactly what data points you have to look at in the report and analyze and make decision in your PPC. So let's start today's introduction. And Mr. Sandeep, I think you can start with where we can find search query performance dashboard, how it looks like.
Right. Sorry about that. Yes, thank you. So search query performance is part of brand analytics, and brand analytics is of course dependent on the brand registry. So all the brand register sellers can use this feature, which is called search query performance. So I can just share my screen as well to show from where we can navigate to it. So let me do that. Okay, so I'm on a Seller Central here. So we have to navigate to menu. From menu, we have brands, this tab. If we are brand registered and we have access to brand registry, we will see all these bunch of options in which the topmost option is brand analytics. So once we open brand analytics, we see a page like this, something like this. So where we have search analytics, and here we have options: search catalog performance, search query performance, and top search terms. So search query performance, as we were discussing, is this dashboard, which says search query performance. The only thing that we have to be careful is the country that we want to be in, because there are a bunch of countries that it's going to show. So let's say if we're talking about North America, USA, then we have selected United States, and then it is the duration. So we can look at the data at a brand level as well as ASIN level. If a particular ASIN I want to look at from my catalog. So we stick to brand, and then here we can select the duration. Right now I'm in a quarterly, and then we can see the search terms here, search queries, and then the other metrics that are part of search query performance.
Yeah, I think that is quite exciting because I think Affan, you were also sharing some data of one account where we looked at the trend of each search term, how it is performing, right? And I think since you can get a data on a weekly level, as well as a monthly level, as well as quarterly level, you can also check for each search term how your A sign is performing with a trend graph, right? You can basically download the weekly reports and prepare a graph so that you can see how the trend is moving for that keyword or search term. And I think we also have this catalog performance report as well, where you can see each A science conversion rate, but which is not so important because when you look at the search query performance report, there it first gives a view about the brand view, where we can see each search terms and how it is generating in terms of the all four types of the funnels, that is the impression, clicks, add to cart, and purchase. And then again we move on to the next part, which is the assign view. In that assign view, you can see each assign what are the keywords responsible for the sales and what are their funnel types, like impression share, then we have the click share, then brand add to cart share, purchase share. So I think that is quite interesting because we can now look at the visualization perfectly, how it is moving in terms of search terms. So I think when we also talk about search query performance, there I think there would be a fun. I think you are sharing something, right? Let me put it on to the screen. Yeah.
Okay, so search catalog performance, this is one thing, and then the search query performance, that is just a totally different thing, right? In the catalog performance, as Sammy has mentioned, it is totally revolving around the your individual ASINs, right? How they're performing against an average, how they're performing, basically what conversion rate they're getting, what impression share they're getting as compared to the market, and all that stuff. But when it comes to the search query performance, it's all about keywords, right? A business analyst will work with the search catalog performance, and a PPC analyst, a PPC manager, will work with the search query performance, right? What it does, it tells me how many keywords do I have on which I am getting orders or impressions, what my what the search query volume of their keywords of those keywords is, right? How much impressions does that keyword get in total? How much impressions am I getting on that keyword? How much clicks I am getting on that keyword as compared to the market, right? And it goes same ways with the add to carts and the purchase as well, right? So I mean, a PPC manager has to, dive deeper, and he has to know how to relate or how to compare, that add to cart ratio of his brand with an average seller in the market, right? How to compare his purchase ratio with an average seller in the market, and what takeaways, what actionable insights can he take away from that report, right? So right now you can see here as well that I have these 2025 keywords that belong to us. I mean, there are multiple products here. Like the first one is futon cover, the second one is a canopy, right? And there might be some other as well. But we have keywords related to the futon and the bed canopies here, right? So you can see that, I mean, there are a lot of things. There are a lot of columns that are available in the Amazon, like 1 day shipping orders, 2 day shipping orders, 1 day shipping add to carts, 2 day shipping add to carts, same day shipping add to carts, and all that stuff. It goes, you know, there are a lot of impression share columns as well. But the thing is, you don't need that much data, because with increased amount of columns, it's so difficult to process that data and get the data in organized form, so you could take some actionable insights out of it, right? So what you have to do, I mean, I have this whole report in front of me, but what I do is I transform this whole report into 2 or 3 simple graphs, right? Let me just show you. So here we go. This is the search query performance. We have two different 4 graphs here. I mean, 2 graphs. There are 4 bar graphs in total. uh, the first one is for purchase behavior, the second one is for add to cart behavior, right? If you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 different keywords, and you have to make sure that you take all of your top performing or top search volume keywords, which are your main keywords basically, right? And include keywords for a single product in these graphs, right? You have to make sure that uh, you keep the sequence same for both of these graphs, so you could just relate these. Now if you see that this is the main keyword, foot on cover, it has around this is the main keyword, by the way. It has around 25 to 30,000 search volume. And just look at this graph, right? This is the market purchase, I mean, and how an average seller is performing. And this is us, right? How we are performing, right, in terms of purchase share. So an average seller in the market is getting around 1.2%, 1.27% of the total purchases on this keyword. And we are doing around 1.67% of the total sales, right? If we compare this data with the add to cart ratio, right? Just look at this. Here comes the best part. An average seller in the market is getting a 4.3% add to cart share, and we are getting just 2% add to cart share, right? Out of these 2% add to cart share, we are getting 1.67% purchase share, right? We are getting more than what an average seller is, making on this particular keyword, with half of the add to carts as compared to an average seller, right? So what we can do, I mean, what this is telling to me, it's these stats are telling to me that we are not getting enough traffic or traction on this particular keyword, right? What I would do, I would just increase my spend on this particular keyword. I would get as much traffic as I could, so I could just increase this add to cart ratio. I mean, it could be an add to a traffic thing. It could be that my click through rate is very low. What I can do, I can just compare my impressions with the average impression, what an average seller is getting, right? So this way I will know that whether it is a click through rate thing, whether it is an impression, a traffic thing, what is the matter, right? So if it is a traffic thing, I could just increase the spend and try to get as much impressions or as much traffic as I could on my ASIN on this particular keyword, I am getting a very good conversion rate, but not enough add to carts, right? So if I just imagine if my add to cart share was somewhere around 4%, and my purchase share is obviously greater than and what an average seller is making, I would be making so much more money on this main keyword, right, as compared to an average seller. So this is how you compare your data, or you analyze your data based on the search query performance, and then process that data, and all that stuff. The thing.
Yeah, I think what may be happening is what we are looking at is their listing might be made really good, right?
Yeah.
Because their purchase rate is higher than other brands which they are, but since they're getting less traffic, that might be also a reason that the conversion rate is higher. So
Agreed.
here I think what may also happen is if we somehow increase the traffic but forget to control the quality of traffic or relevancy of traffic, then it might hamper our conversion rate or the purchase rate, right? That might also happen. And
Agreed.
also another thing is here I think Mr. Sandeep was also talking about, because he have done drastic study on conversion rate as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think when you talk about CTR is higher, but maybe the purchase rate or add to cart rate is very low. Because what we see is from add to cart to purchase, there is very small space or small timeline, and not so much ad is being shown. If you just go into add to cart page, there will be only few ads that will show up just below the add to cart button, right? And that is not so important because it doesn't really increase the churn rate of the customer. But what might be the case is because now Amazon is releasing so many features, even a brand tailored promotion, which we
Yeah.
can probably use and talk about a little bit in further section of this video. But when you talk about conversion rate, I think Mrs. Sandeep, you have some valid points on it as well. Because when you talk about add to carts, how seller can increase add to carts right now, because there are so many opportunities. And if we can somehow control the quality of traffic and keep the conversion rate on a relative good amount, then our add to cart ratio can be really high. Do you want to talk something on it, and we can come back to this report again?
Sure. So conversion rate plays a very important role in all of this, and the best part is that Amazon has started giving us this data for a while now. So since we have the real data, we can look at ourselves and compare it with the market. For example, in the add to cart, we could see that the add to cart was like, the market is doing twice better than what we were doing. And it is the add to cart actually that matters a lot. Of course, purchase is ultimate. However, add to cart is also very important, and that is the reason for Amazon to show that and track that metrics. If Amazon is spending, a resource on something like add to cart, that means it is important. Now, if it is important, and we can find out from the data that we are not as good as market, or not even half of what the market is doing, then we need to look at what are the reasons for a particular customer or a bunch of customers to add a product to the cart. What does it take? So there are a few variables that we can test. So we can start with one variable as simple as that. It could be, let's say, for example, introducing a coupon. So if we introduce a coupon, if there is a scope for us with just that, if we do that for a few weeks, we can always come back to this report and then monitor whether the add to cart has improved for us not. Because possible that the market, most of the sellers have introduced a coupon, and that could make a customer to add the product to the cart. So like this, we can look at various other alternatives which can help a particular customer to convert. So all those variables, it can be creatives, it can be coupon, it can be deals and discount, it can be the product itself as an offer. Like, if, for example, if everybody in the market is selling a certain type of product, and if we can bring additional bundle into it, that can also help us to influence. Bundling is something which is like major thing, but we can make changes over the fly, something like coupon. So those things can help us convert better and then track the performance, because end of the day, in this search query performance, we get 4 data points: impressions and clicks. So impression and clicks is more about the traffic part, whereas the add to cart and the purchases is more towards the conversion part. So we have to have a different thought process when we talk about the traffic and increasing the traffic. But while we talk about the conversion, we have to, of course, consider traffic, increase in traffic, and if we have a certain percent of conversion, it can always help. But with those two different approaches, it can help us to improve these numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I think what you said also, Amazon with their A/B split testing, now you can test everything. But What we can also do is, since we are tracking everything on a weekly basis, you should always have a report or a sheet where you have this data on weekly basis. And let's assume this is week 1 where you're testing or changing something in your listing. You can just always come back and compare it with a week 2 or week 3, because now you have all the data you can download from search query performance, and I can compare what change it is bringing on the impression, clicks, or add to carts or purchase, right? And that is something which is really important right now, to visualize each and everything, because if you can't understand the data that Amazon is providing you for your brand, it is very important for you to do that. And also, what Affan was also talking about is how to take our top 4 to 5 keywords with maximum search volume and compare with add to cart and purchase ratio. We also, Affan will show more about it as well. We also have done a study where, instead of comparing the top 4 to 5 search volume keywords, you can also compare the other keywords, maybe by looking at your brand analytics report or top search terms report, or maybe by going into search term impression share report and search term impression share report for brands as well. So all these options are there, right? I think Afan will share some more details into it. And Afan, I think you can share the screen and go again on it.
Yeah, sure.
Can you zoom it
Okay.
a little bit?
Yeah, just give me a sec. Okay. Before we jump into this meeting, I would like to connect a few things with our, previous discussion about the search query performance. So, in this previous sheet, we looked at the data. Like, uh, so the thing is that this product is totally, going in a very good direction, right? But the thing is,
Mhm.
if you see that you are getting an equal amount of, add to cart ratio as an average seller, but you are not getting that much amount of purchase share as an average seller is doing getting. I mean, I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. If you're getting an equal percentage share of add to carts as an average seller, but you're not getting equal or greater than an average seller's percentage in terms of purchases, what you can do, I mean, how we can deduce this. The thing is, we are getting same add to carts as an average seller, but we are not getting same amount of purchases as an average seller is getting. What we can do, we can link this thing with the brand tailored promotions. And how can we do that? Amazon provides us a feature, like we can retarget our add to cart abandoners in that brand tailored promotion. And with that, all the cart abandoners we have, Amazon will retarget those abandoners, and maybe we will get a certain percentage of those cart abandoners that will just repurchase our product, right? Or purchase our product again. So I think we are about to discuss the brand tailor promotion as well. So I thought we could it would be a good idea if we could relate that data with the search query performance data as well. So right now we have another search query performance report. This is another way to present all this data in an so we could just take some insights out of it. Right now you can see that we have different we have different keywords here. So the first keyword is travel essentials. We can see that we have a waist bag for men as well. We have some weighing scale product as well, right? Right now the data is very scattered and it's messed up, right? What we can do is we can just sort this data. Now I have all the data which includes the word way, right? So all the keywords, we have around 284 keywords. All these keywords belong to a single product, right? The weighing scale. And again, this is not a search catalog performance report, this is a search query performance report. It includes the keywords. So again, we are doing the same thing. We have an add to cart ratio, our add to cart ratio. We have this is the our brand's add to cart ratio. This is an average seller's add to cart ratio, right? And again, same with the brand purchases. So you can see that I mean, this graph, what it's a basic sparkline, Google Sheets function, right? It just creates a graph, right? So we are comparing markets in an average seller's add to cart ratio with our brand's add to cart ratio, right? So this graph technically should always be in an inclined manner, in an inclined form, if we are performing good on that keyword, right? Just look at this. This keyword is weight machine for luggage, right? And average seller is getting a 9.32% add to cart ratio, and add to cart percentage we are getting around 17.74 add to cart percentage, right? So this graph is inclined. Same goes with the brand percentage, and average seller is getting 4.32% of the total purchases in the market, and we are getting around 19.74% purchases on this particular keyword, weight scale, weight machine for luggage, right? So I think this is something how we can analyze our keywords. I mean, right now, I, I know that it seems a pretty much messed up, this column, but if you could compare all of this data together like we are doing with these graphs, so I think this way we will be able to have a clear picture of how we are performing in a niche rather than on a single keyword, right? So I think this is something that can help a PPC manager in terms of analyzing what metrics do we need to take care of, what KPIs do we need to take care of. If we're getting a bad impression share percentage, we need to increase our traffic. If we're getting a bad add to cart ratio, it could be our content, it could be a conversion rate related thing. And if it is related to purchase behavior, that we are getting less percent of percentages purchases as compared to an average seller, it could be something like we are not giving enough coupons, our reviews on a listing are not that much, our rating is not that good, and everything, all that stuff, right? We're not using an EBC. So everything, all of these things could be a reason. You have to dig down and look at all of these KPIs one by one. So I think this is how we can use this report.
Got it. So we are also discussing about how difficult it can be, because when we talk about or compare add to cart and purchase, right? We can't really, as a seller or as a PPC manager, we can't really go and tell the reason why there is so much difference between add to cart and purchase, because that is a window where there is not so many things, or probably zero things, that will influence anything between add to cart and purchase, other than where which ads are being shown in between, right? And those ads which we have seen is not so much important to the consumer, because they already made the decision to purchase the product. Now there might be several reasons, right? Maybe they got an important phone call, maybe they were just adding the product in the cart to maybe look at a other duration or other time frame where they can come and check whether there is a change in price, or maybe they're just adding to the cart to buy at a later time. But there is not so many aspects that we as a seller or we as a brand manager can influence in that part. But I think Amazon heard that problem, that okay, we had this gap and that gap needs to be solved.
Yeah.
And I think this is something you can share about brand tailored promotion as well, because that gap I think can be only solved by this option or feature that Amazon have recently rolled out.
All right. So add to cart, those people who abandon the cart, it is difficult to track them or to target them. But Amazon has come up with this functionality in brand tele promotion, where not just this one, we could do a lot more other targeting and offer discounts to such users who have not made the purchase because of various reasons. Now, one thing which I as a customer do on Amazon is while I look for a product, I add a bunch of products into the cart. That is for me. Let's say, for example, right now I have some time, so I go over the listings and I picked, let's say, for example, 4 products, and I've added all of them into the cart. But I'm not going to make the purchase right now. I'm going to maybe at later stage in the evening or the night, or maybe on a weekend, I may come back to my cart and review those 4 products that I've added, and then again decide which is the one that I'm going to buy and abandon rest of them. So that is how I do it, and possible that a lot of other shoppers are also doing something similar. So in that case, we can target such people who have abandoned. So I'll quickly share my screen. So we have this brand tailor promotions available into brand analytics again. So this can be accessed from, again, going from going into advertising, and we have this option called as brand tailored promotion. So once we go there, we land up to the screen where we can create promotion. So the type of promotions or the audience that we can target, you can see this is that brand cart abandoners, 90 days. So over a 90-day period, 30,000 people did not buy the product after adding it to the cart. Now we have a very good opportunity where we can offer
Yeah,
a
and I think
discount.
30,000 is a huge number, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if let's say we have a conversion rate of 10%, assuming we target these 30,000 people and 10% of them convert, it's a good business for us. And there is nothing that we are doing apart from offering a discount to them. So it is like minimum 10% that we can offer to these people. And you can see here that Amazon says minimum 10%. So it's a minimum 10% if we offer, they get notified that they can buy this product at a cheaper price as compared to before. It can compel them to make a purchase, which they did not do before. So not just brand card abandoners, we can also look at other kind of options, audiences that it is offering us. Like for example, something like brand followers who have followed our brand store. We can give them as a loyal customer, we can offer them as well the discount. And if they have bought it from us, that is the reason they have followed our brand. Most likely they are likely to purchase it again, because then they know that the brand is a trusted brand and the quality of the product they've already experienced. So it is also likely to have a higher conversion rate. So whatever options we have here, what we have observed that they give us a better conversion rate than what our average conversion rate is. So there is a lot of business sitting here in brand tailor promotion for us to reach out to and get these low hanging fruits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Affan, do you like to add something to it?
I think again, this is something that it's basically a free. If you're playing a game, like if you're playing
Yeah.
Valorant, because I am a gamer guy, we call this free kills, right? So it's that easy, right? These are something that you are missing straight away, right? I mean, in every brand, if these options are available to you, this is the first thing, right? This is the first thing that you should be doing, right? Give coupons, give 10. I mean, if you don't want to give that much coupons, just give a 10% coupon, right? That is the bare minimum, right? 10% doesn't hurt you that much, right? You will not be spending on PPC, you will not be spending any money, you will just be giving a 10% coupon to these customers, right? I mean, these are the people who might not ever see you again, right? Because these are the ones that have abandoned your cart, that have left you. Or just if you look at the at risk, the first option, you can just read the text: customers who haven't purchased recently or frequently, with varied spend, right? So these are the people who have once purchased a product from you, but they haven't done it again, right? So this is the first option, right? At risk. Don't let them go, right? Capture them, capture as many customers as you can, right? Again, the second option is the brand cart abandoners. This is the first thing, one of the first thing that you need to do if you are having a bad purchase ratio as compared to an average seller in the market. Again, this is how you can relate that search query performance with these with the brand analytics, right? Again, the brand
Yeah.
followers, the people who have followed, the people who follow your posts, they will get notified that okay, there's a discount, right? And it is exclusively for us, right? So let's go and purchase, right? Again, repeat, there's I believe there's an option of repeat purchases as well. uh, yeah, repeat purchases. The traffic is 8,000, right? So people, I mean, this is something that you can do with sponsored display as well. You can retarget, or some you can do some purchase retargeting or views retargeting. You can do this using the brand tailored promotion as well, right? Where you can just retarget your customers who have purchased more than once from your brand, right? So I think
Yeah.
create as many campaigns as you can and create them frequently. If you go to that brand cart abandoners option, you can see that the look back period is 90 days, right? So you have to create a campaign every month or every 3 months, so you could get those previous 90 days traffic. I mean, the traffic is 30,220 37 right now. After 3 months it could be 50,000, right? But the thing is, if you're not creating a campaign right now, you will just lose these 30,000 people that that have abandoned your carts in the last 30 days, last 90 days. So this is a negative thing. You have to keep creating campaigns as frequently, like so you could capture all the cart abandoners
I
and
think what is interesting is because it is all different touch points that we're creating, because we know that display remarketing is not so much expensive as brands, right? Sponsored brands. And we also know it is just different touch points that we're creating. I was reading this book on romance. I don't read so much love books. Okay. So this book says about 8 touch points, or sorry, 7 touch points or 8 hours you need to spend with someone to
Mhm.
build strong trust. So here, what we're doing is this brand, this repeat purchase customer base, or let's assume add to carts. They already know us. We already established good touch points with us. Maybe when we showed the ad, then they clicked on the listing, then they clicked on add to cart. So all these touch points are already established. If we talk about repeat purchase, then there is far more greater touch points that already established. And if we then show our display retargeting or simply create this kind of campaign, it's simply the conversion rate that we can see will be far more higher than what we normally see. And I think this is something, if I think this option is not available in India, but this is available in the US and other countries as well. Soon India will also get this option, because there is so big brands in India which has good repeat purchase as well. So if you're not trying this is something that you need to create and look after, because the account that we just showed you, you can see there is 30,000 add to cart abundance that you can see and you can target, and the conversion will be huge if you just offer them 10%, 15%, 20% of coupon, because that doesn't take a lot of your margin. Yeah, I think we had a really strong discussion today. And if you're someone who is really interested about PPC and wanted to scale up your game, but you have some queries, you have some questions, maybe what you can do is you can comment below Amazon advertising or Amazon PPC if you want us to shift this format from recording to live. And if we get enough comments, we will do the next session in a live format instead of a recorded, so that you can ask us questions and we can answer all those. So I think that was a really good discussion we had. Thank you, Mr. Sandeep. Thank you, Affan, for the crazy amount of knowledge that you have shared today. I think we'll come again next week and discuss a little bit in-depth topics so that our viewers can get more benefit from it. Thank you so much. I'll see you again next video. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.